G'day bike riders, I'm the Bike Route Buddy and today I'm bringing you a video about a new shared path along Barwon Heads Road from Belmont to Warralily Shopping Centre. This shared path was put in as part of an upgrade to Barwon Heads Road and opened in late 2022. This is a pretty typical kind of bicycle infrastructure development. Very rarely do we ever see standalone bicycle infrastructure funding. It is most often linked to expenditure on road upgrades, and this is no exception. Barwon Heads Road was upgraded from 1 lane in each direction to mostly 2 lanes in each direction, but there are sections where the road is 7 lanes if you include turning lanes, and there are 9 lanes to cross on Breakwater Road at the intersection. Let's take a look on Google Maps and see if we can find the off-road route. I've got bike routes turned on and have selected to go to Warralily Shopping Centre by bike. It seems that Google Maps has no idea where the shared paths are and sends me down this crazy busy settlement road and then the Surf Coast Highway. It suggests that it will take 32 minutes. I've marked out where the path goes in red dots, so there are sections there that are marked and sections there that are not marked on Google Maps. The navigation function definitely doesn't know where they are. Open Cycle Maps is much better, but it doesn't have a navigation feature. Komoot has the shared paths marked on it, but no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to direct me along the shared path. At least they are marked on here. I'm going to do something a bit different in this video. What I'm going to do is keep track of things that I see that are good and things that could be improved. I won't double count. For example, if I see multiple holes in the path, I will only count that as one negative. Let's start off beside the Criterium track in Belmont and head along the old section of shared path. You can see the transition to the new concrete path. The first bit is missing the centre line paint, so there's one for the negatives, but it does appear a bit further up. The first obstacle is crossing the slip lane for cars wanting to turn left into Settlement Road. It has a raised crossing and a give way sign for drivers. This is great and we should see more of these kinds of intersections implemented. I hope it is like this all the way along. I have however nearly had a crash with a car here when the driver ignored the give way signs. At least the speed hump forces drivers to slow down. There we go, 1 point for the positives. Now we have to cross Settlement Road. It is a very long wait on this traffic light cycle, and if you miss pressing the beg button, it can be up to 3 minutes wait to get across. In this case, it was only about 1 minute wait. You then have 3 northbound lanes to cross and 5 southbound lanes to cross. It is quite a long way across here. It's a pretty good new concrete surface along here, 1 point for the positives. We arrive at the road to the Barwon Valley Golf Course. There's no priority here in this crossing and would have been great if they had a raised speed hump and give way signs for the drivers to make it a bit safer, 1 for the negatives. We have a bit of an elevated path as we cross Belmont Common, as there wasn't enough space for 5 traffic lanes and a bike path. This is pretty good, so I'll give 1 point to the positives for being innovative to fit the bike path in. Crossing over the access road for the City of Greater Geelong Depot, the first corner turning in has a very large radius, so it is designed as a high-speed corner for vehicles, 1 point for the negative. No paint on the road and no traffic calming like we saw in the earlier slip lane, so priority is still given to motorised traffic, 1 for the negatives. Alternatively, if walkers and bikers don't get priority, a refuge in the middle of the road would have been good. I won't give another negative here, as that would be double counting I think. These 2 crossings don't feel like they were done to help bike riders. Maybe they had reached the required spending for the bike infrastructure on the new road build and didn't want to spend any more making these intersections more bicycle friendly. It might be a shared path, but it still feels like driving a car along here has priority. Moving on to the Breakwater Road intersection, this is an enormous junction. The slip lane allows motorised traffic to be prioritised and bike riders having to take a sharp right hand corner to cross the slip lane, 1 for the negatives. However, it is painted yellow, has a speed hump and a give way sign, so 1 for the positives. So let's press the button to ask if we can go across the road. It does take a little while, but I don't mind as the scenery is good. It's nice and quiet and the air is fresh and clear. While we wait, you can see the bike lane just in front of us going off to the left to Breakwater Road. About half of it is covered in stones, bits of glass, bolts and other debris. It always amazes me how much stuff falls off bikes and is disturbed by bikes in the bike lane. The cars obviously don't disturb anything, as those lanes are free of anything that may puncture a tyre. I hope you detect my sarcasm. 1 for the negatives. Let's head across. We have a green bike light to get across, so 1 for the positives. But now we have to wait again for the 2 slip lanes. The lights knew I was coming, but I have to press the button again and wait again. 1 negative. Interestingly, it seems that we're all waiting. There is plenty of time to get across here before the cars move. Across the other side, the bike lane splits up again, but I'm not sure which way to go. The first time I came along here, I went right, which is the wrong way and takes you to a bus stop on the busy Barwon Heads Road. 1 negative for no wayfinding signs. We'll go left and we end up on a road, but again I wouldn't know if to go right here if I hadn't been along here before. I won't award a point for no signs here, as I just did on the last corner, and there is pretty much no signs all the way along this path. So we head along the access road around the cricket grounds, over the speed hump to calm traffic in the shared zone, 1 for the positives, and then we arrive at another shared path sign. This looks to go under the bridge, so again I'm not quite sure if that takes me the right way, but I'll follow it. Here we are at another T intersection. Do I go left or right to follow the path along Barwon Heads Road? I'd feel like I'd want to go left because that's the way the road's going, but from experience, left takes you back to Belmont. So to continue along Barwon Heads Road, we have to do this big loop, quite an indirect route, so I'll give 1 to the negatives. Coming back the other way to this intersection, it is very counterintuitive to loop back on yourself to go under the bridge. And there again, there are no signs. Many people end up on this 3-lane road with a painted bike lane for the last 500 metres, as it is not intuitive to get across to the other side of the road by crossing the traffic lights or going back under the bridge. Negative 1 point. From here, the path is really good, well protected from traffic for a while. Then we have to cross another slip lane, but again, the shared bike has priority. I've already awarded a point for slip lanes and priority crossings for slip lanes. It is quite a wait at this intersection, but now I'm across. I have a bit of a climb up over Mount Grovedale, over the railway line. The gradient is not too bad, so I think I'll award 1 point to the positives. However, there are a few big grates on the shared path heading the other way, so 1 more point for the negatives. Moving along, it is great along here, so we'll zoom up to the next intersection. This intersection gave me a scare another time coming along here. You can see the garbage truck there on the left. I anticipated that the truck was going to go straight ahead through without stopping, so I pretty much stopped as there wasn't going to be much of a match for 20 tonnes of steel. But then the driver pulled up the last second and let me through. You can't see the truck at the end here, but it was there. The path along here is pretty good. Then the intersection is much the same as the others with a slip lane, then a button to ask to cross. I criticised the rubbish truck earlier, but at least the driver stopped, unlike this blue ute. I'm not sure if the driver didn't look, didn't want to stop, or just didn't care. 1 point for the negatives. This is the problem with slip lanes. They tend to keep the speed of the cars up and are not great for anyone not in a car. It's more of the same along here, with good sections of path split up by big intersections and slip lanes to negotiate. The path then deviates away from Barwon Heads Road, but I'm not sure where it goes, and in this case I really am not sure where it goes. Is it going to take me to the shopping centre, or will it just end and leave me stranded on a busy road somewhere? It might even take me miles away from my destination. A few signs wouldn't go astray here, and here are some examples from around the world that help people on bikes find their way around. This one is from the UK, and a couple from the Netherlands. And here's one from Portland in the USA. Google Maps doesn't really help. Here are a couple of attempts using Google Maps. Google has no idea where the bike paths are and just want me to ride on the road, so this isn't very helpful. As we cross this road and go around the bend, the centre line on the path disappears and it seems to get narrower, -1. We head through along what seems to be a pipeline easement. There are many cross streets, so I have to stop or at least slow down at every one of them and give way to the cars. Some priority crossing would help here. Cars still get priority even on the quiet streets. 1 for the negative. Like I mentioned before, I just don't know where I was going to end up. Here I am at a T intersection and I just don't know if I should be turning left or right. I know going left will take me back to the busy Barwon Heads Road, and I'm not sure that this is even a shared path now. Let's explore a bit and head left. But that is where it ends. There is nothing across the other side of the road, so it looks like we're at a dead end. After I was out there, I looked on Google Images to see if I could find a path on the other side of the road, but it didn't go anywhere. I'm not sure of the plans, but it seems pretty pointless just to end up with the path here. 1 for the negatives. I'll have to end it here, as I was unable to find a safe route through to Warralily Shopping Centre, and I'm not game to ride on this section of Barwon Heads Road, and I am a pretty confident rider. Let's tally up the points. Negatives 15 points, positives 7 points. Overall, it's a pretty good path, but there's quite a number of things that could be improved to really make it into a great path. Let's list a few of these improvements that could turn this good path into the great path I mentioned. Number 1. Crossing priority at the road to the Barwon Valley Golf Course and to the City of Greater Geelong Depot. Number 2. Crossing priority on the path between Reserve Road and Precinct Road along the pipeline easement. Number 3. Aligning the crossing signal at Breakwater Road so you don't have to wait twice, especially on the slip lane where all the cars are stopped anyway. And number 4. Wayfinding signs to help people navigate through the labyrinth. I will have to come back here again sometime in the future, as surely that great path along Barwon Heads Road can't just end like this. How do you get to Warralily Shopping Centre by bike from this point? Let me know in the comments if you know an off-road way of completing the journey. Bike routes are only good if they are connected to destinations and you can actually work out where you are going. It's pretty demoralising to be following a route for it just to disappear and to be left on the side of a busy road wondering where to go. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm the Bike Route Buddy, and I'll see you on a bike path to nowhere sometime.